A lot of times the first step people want to take is just to add the kid's name to the account, add the kid's name to the property so that they can help their parents handle their finances or their real estate. By doing that, you're actually making it joint property, right? So if your parents are here and you're joint on that account, it basically helps make it theirs legally as well, which may not be what you want. So if you die, that account can actually legally belong to that child and not go to the rest of the children. It can also be considered a transfer if long-term care Medicaid were to scrutinize that transfer. It would be subject to the 5-year look back that you may have heard about as well. An easier way to go about that is to have your general durable power of attorney, which can take care of your finance and your real estate, and your healthcare power of attorney, which can help with medical decisions. The general durable power of attorney can be given to the bank, and then they will work with you to work with your parent. The healthcare power of attorney can be given to your doctor, and then they can work with you to work with your parent. So it's a kind of an easier way, a more clear way in terms of liability and legalities and transfers, just to have the proper documentation in place rather than making it joint. The other option is if you don't have these in place and we're too far down the road, maybe there's a lack of capacity, sometimes our only option at that point is to go into a guardianship, which we really don't want to do. It can be very expensive. It actually strips the person in the guardianship of their legal rights, which can be very offensive to some families. So an easier thing to do is just to go ahead and get good general durable powers of attorney in place and good healthcare powers of attorney in place. One thing further is a lot of times you'll find these 1 or 2 page documents and you'll just sign them and think that's going to take care of everything. Nowadays, with the kind of moving through this process, if you do your documents here and you do your asset preservation here where you're transferring assets between family members maybe or into trusts, this is very complicated. And then having to deal with long-term care planning like through the VA, private pay, long-term care policies or Medicaid. This can be very, very complicated, like I just said, and so having good powers of attorney that address a lot of different issues is really, really important. And especially after the last few economic ups and downs that we've had and a lot of the medical changes that we've had, these have started to include more and more language, specific language that these medical and banking institutions want to see for them personally or for them specifically. So a simple power of attorney in either one of these categories may work, but it may not work. I have had them rejected, and I think it's just really important to get good documents right up front and naming somebody that you trust.